It's kind of weird being an ex-altar boy, being in church with your hat on. Last one this Well, my name is Dan. My friends call me Dan. My last name is Weber, like the grill in your backyard. Unfortunately, I'm a folk musician and not connected to the Weber Grill fortune. Though I did receive 3 Weber Grills when I got married 18 years ago. Coincidentally enough, I'm the worst barbecuer on the planet. Well, this song takes place in 1989. I don't know if anybody remembers 1989. I think it's kind of like when people say, if you remember the 60s, you weren't there in the 60s. I feel that way about the 80s, really. And I went in 1989, I went and saw a band you might have heard of. In Louisville, Kentucky, in 1989, I went and saw the Grateful Dead. Has anyone ever heard of those guys? 2 or 3 of you anyway. So I went and saw the Grateful Dead in Louisville, Kentucky. Ironically enough, it was the one night in the Grateful Dead's 50-year history that they played a song by a band from Portland, Oregon, where I'm from, a song by the Kingsmen. That's what I thought. At the same time, I thought, oh no, think of that song now, Louie Louie. The Grateful Dead played Louie Louie in Louisville, Kentucky, ironically. So I want you to close your eyes with me for just a second, and I want you to think about that song, Louie Louie. You got it? Now I want you to think about the Grateful Dead singing Louie Louie. It's like the worst version of Louie Louie you've ever heard in your whole damn life. But after the show, I was headed down south to Memphis, and wouldn't you know, I met this guy. He was a follower of the Grateful Dead. They called him Deadheads, and he had long hair and sandals, and this is the story of what happened that night. This is called Hank and Jesus. South of Louisville, Kentucky, on I-65, I pulled into a rest stop before I pushed on through the night. I met this deadhead with a backpack. Man, I knew that guy. He asked if you're heading south, well, I could really use the ride. But I'm only on this interstate just as far as Bowling Green. Then I'm cutting west towards Memphis, where the blues don't treat you mean. And we drove the blue highways across Tennessee and back, and I don't recall not even once stopping for gas. He said, I know you won't believe me, but that's alright, 'cause I just wanted someone to talk with tonight. So I drove and he told stories, but they started sounding weird. It's like he'd been to Woodstock and he never came back from there. Well, he said friends of his were angels, and most of them were saints, except this one guy named Judas, who he swore had been framed. Well, he believed what he was saying, man, but me had my doubts. So I pulled off in this bar, hoping he might clear out. And we drove the blue highways across Tennessee and back, and I don't recall not even once stopping for gas. He said, I know you won't believe me, but that's alright, 'cause I just wanted someone to talk with tonight. Well, in the parking lot, he came clean. He said he was Jesus Christ. And I said, yeah, then I'm Hank Williams, man. Maybe you should drive. He said Hank was back with Audrey now, and they were doing fine. But you know that not a one of us is out of this world alive. Oh, it's 100 100 miles to Memphis in the middle of the night, with those high beams searching for just a little light. He said, life, it's like this 2-lane road and it's a crooked deal. I said, she pulls a little to the left, Jesus, keep both hands on the wheel. And we drove the blue highways across Tennessee and back, and I don't recall not even once stopping for gas. He said, I know you won't believe me, but that's alright. I just wanted someone to talk with tonight. He said, I know you don't believe in me, but that's alright. 'Cause I just wanted someone to talk with tonight.